Okay, hello guys, Can't Soda, welcome back to another reading of the fanfiction Harry Potter Becomes a Communist. I'm with this dingus.
Or random fangirl #01.
Okay, so we were on chapter 10 from last time, and a lot of crazy stuff happened. So let's continue. I'm gonna start. Author's note. Yes, Jazzy 12, it's all a joke. The big fat corporations suck all the resources away from the starving worldwide proletariat. It's all so fucking hilarious, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it's satire. It's not and just to clear this up in case since it's the internet, me and Ash's political beliefs have nothing to do with our view on the story. It's all just a joke.
Oh yeah, we probably should have said that in the first video too.
I mean, I'm gonna put a disclaimer. Anyway, detention for 1 month, Potter yelled McGonagall using racially oppressive language. I ignored her extremist racist rink as I sat back in my seat. I hope this teaches you a lesson, said Hermione elitistly. Stirring up trouble has never fixed anything. We need evolution, not revolution. Yeah, because Comrade Lennon didn't fix anything when he was stirring up trouble, I snapped sarcastically. Well, he didn't, replied Hermione in a naggy voice. The Soviet Union was an evil empire. I know it's true because Reagan says it, and he couldn't possibly have been a tool of the capitalistic system. Why don't you forget about communism and be a liberal like me? We're the only ones who truly care about people. Well, Hermione's definitely a villain, and racist McGonagall.
God.
If only you liberals could hear yourselves, I said angrily. You say you care about the workers, and yet you always side the fucking bourgeoisie. Liberals are not fighting the capitalist system of imperialistical corporate exploitation. They're part of it. There's no need to rebel against the system, said Hermione in the bourgeois intelligentista voice. I'm sure it's fine, and all our votes really count. We just need to improve it a bit with some internal reforms and no scary violence. I was so mad at Hermione. She had totally bought into the bourgeois lie of democracy. Whether politicians call themselves liberal or conservative, they maintain the corporate exploitation of the proletariat just the same. We have no real choice. What we need was the dictatorship of the fucking proletariat. Okay, what are the predictions do you have? Imagine if Voldemort turns out to be a good guy, or imagine if there's a plot twist where Voldemort is a bad guy and if Harry was wrong all along.
I think it would be interesting if Voldemort has like the same views as Harry in this, since Dumbledore's obviously set up to be like an enemy to Harry, you know?
I wonder.
But who knows?
Yeah, true. What side do you think Snape could be on?
I don't know. I've never really thought about their political views before.
Oh well, we'll just see. Your turn next. Chapter 12.
Right.
Harry goes to detention for the people.
Author's note. Thank you for your support, Comrade Archfear. However, I must disagree with you about Stalin. He never killed anyone. Have you read,
Khrushchev
Lied by Grover Furr?
Khrushchev lied.
Oh, I don't know why I read that as Lied. Lied.
Asshole.
As I walked up the stairs to the upstairs office of the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, I thought of what ridiculous hypocrisy it was that Professor Pepsi was supposedly teaching us defense against the dark arts when he himself practiced capitalism, the darkest art of all. Such for the inherent contradictions of the bourgeoisie capitalistic system of exploiting the working proletariat class. Welcome to your detention, you dirty red scum, laughed Professor Pepsi in a voice of corporate greed. You're gonna be writing lines with this quill.
Oh, is this gonna be like Umbridge, you know, when she gave him that quill which scratched on his arm? I mean, you know what I mean? I bet it's gonna be that.
I gasped.
I knew it! Sorry.
He was holding up the blood quill which Umbridge had made me use. I knew I shouldn't have been so shocked, of course. Wait, what year is this? I forgot.
I don't know. Let's just not think about it. I mean, they weren't specific about the year for my immortal.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Anyway,
I knew I shouldn't have been so shocked, of course. After all, I knew full well that the capitalist class would do anything to maintain its fucking power. I guess I just thought that he was going to try a little harder to hide the true face of capitalism. You're going to be writing democracy is good, because that's the lesson you silly commies need to learn the most, he said in an evil voice. You damn Reds say you care about the will of the people, and yet you want to take away all of our freedoms and put in some dictator. What a crock! You fucking liar, I yelled at him. As you well know, democracy is nothing but a bourgeoisie lie, and a dangerous one at that. It makes the proletariat think that they can change their government when they can't. The candidates are always picked and chosen by the capitalists willing to fund their campaigns, and once they're elected, the politicians are then controlled by corporate lobbyists and special interests. But all the working class ever knows is that they got to vote, and therefore they must have had a say. Even if it occurs to them that both candidates were pro-capitalist shills, they'd have no idea what to do about it. Oh, you silly boy, laughed Professor Pepsi. Democracy may have its problems, but as the great Winston Churchill once said, democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others. Yeah, we should listen to the words of a fucking racist colonialist like Churchill, I laughed sarcastically. How about we listen to the words of some men who actually cared about the people, like Comrade Lenin or Chairman Mao?
I mean, to be honest, Harry's not wrong when he says racist colonists like Churchill, because I don't know if it's true, but I read somewhere on Tumblr that, like, back when India was controlled by the English, Churchill was racist towards the Indians. I saw it on Tumblr. I'm not sure. I could be. It's probably true. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to, like, older people, you always have to take their words at, like, face value, because a lot of them were, like, they had good ideas, but a lot of them were still racist, so it's like, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Professor Pepsi seethed. I could tell he had run out of arguments, but he wasn't going to let me win. He was a teacher and a capitalist, so there was no way he would let me, a student and a proletarian, appear to have bested him. That would be a threat to his bourgeoisie power. And if faulty arguments weren't going to work, he would have to use force. Shut up, little boy, he yelled at me. You know nothing about how the real world works. Start writing now. I began to write the lie which Professor Pepsi had instructed me to. He had a smug smile on his elitist face, thinking that he had beaten me into submission for good. But he would be singing a different tune when the People's Revolution, the fucking proletariat, came.
Chapter 13, Awakening the Proletariat. Ooh, I wonder who else he's going to change next. Author's note. If you are thinking of leaving a review and didn't that means the capitalists win, don't let them imprison you in false consciousness, comrades. As I walked into the Gryffindor common room that night, I saw that my actions in the Great Hall had worked. Everyone was looking at me, including some very attractive girls. I could only care that I had lit the spark of revolution in the people. I could tell many of them were still confused about what I had done and were looking to see what I would do next. To proletarian deep in false consciousness, my actions must have been completely incompressible and unpredictable. It was a joy beyond anything to see him starting to wake up and know that I had done it. I felt like a father seeing his infant child taking his or her footsteps. I walked to the center of the room. Comrades, I bellowed, I got into detention for you. I'd suffered on your behalf and will continue for the rest of this month. Now you must see that it is I, not Dumbledore, who truly stands for the interests of you, the people. Aw shit, now Hermione. Hermione, as I said earlier, Hermione is a villain. Don't listen to him, said Hermione, who's doing her bourgeois homework. Communism is a bad idea which always fails. It may look like Harry's heroically suffering for you, but actually he's just doing crazy things for no particular reason. I know this is true because there's nothing inherent in this system which will make people want to rebel. What's this communism thing you're always talking about? Asked Ginny in a cutely innocent voice. It's always very confusing to me. She was very appealing in that girl next door way, but I had more important things to think about on that adorable Freckles and, oh my gosh, on Ron's little sister. It was then that I realized I had not even explained what communism was to a majority of students. No wonder it hadn't risen up in socialist revolution. I mean, it has just begun. Communism is, in short, the abolition of private property, I explained wisely, the thing that Hermione fears the most. Instead of everything being owned by the fucking 1%, the entire community owns everything together. You mean it's owned by a state, lied Hermione smugly, no doubt terrified of of losing her petite bourgeois status. The state is the people, you fascist liar, I yelled in her nag face, is much better than our current capitalist system where the state is only 1% of the people. So if everyone owns everything in common, said Ron, does that mean I can just take other people's things since their things also belong to me? It doesn't work that way, Ron, I explained in a socialist voice. There's a difference between private property and personal property. Under communism, the community gives everyone what they need, but not anything more. Everything is fair that way. As Marx himself said, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. Wow, that sounds like a great system, exclaimed Pavarti. Why isn't our country run that way? The average teenage boy would be overwhelmed by a girl as exhaustively glamorous as Pavarti, even paying attention to him, but I hardly notice her. Oh my gosh, that's weird. Because the fucking capitalists don't want it run that way, I replied with a hollow laugh. They love their bourgeois money more than anything in the world, so why shouldn't they love a system where they get to exploit 99% of the people for even more money? They use their complete control over fucking Western media to brainwash us all and to think that we have high standards for living and communists are evil madmen who hate freedom. Of course, they mean freedom for the bourgeoisie to exploit the proletariat. The only way to put a stop to it is for the working class to recognize the instruments of its exploitation and rise up in socialist revolution.
Oh my god. All I can say is, I'm gonna English major this and say that a plot point in this is that he's gonna, like, have sex at some point. Because there's, like, he always mentions how the girls are attractive, and then he's like, well, I'm better than that because I'm thinking about, you know, helping my comrades and whatever. But I feel like a plot point's actually just gonna be him having sex. I'm not even gonna lie. Author's note. Thank you for your kind and honest words, comrades Moliere under the stairs, Vapira 411 R. Torre. Boo! Yelled Romilda Vane, who was really ugly and fat. She was also wearing an ugly t-shirt with the anarchist A on it. Of course, I didn't pay attention to her awful appearance or let it influence my opinion of her views in any way. Down with the red bureaucracy, Romilda whined in a snotty voice. Anarchism is the only true freedom, the only true hope for the masses to escape the shackles. Let's get rid of the state right now and just assume that capitalism will magically disappear by itself. You stupid anarchist, I laughed uproariously. Communism is the only path to a stateless society, and you don't really understand what the vanguard party is if you think it's some kind of bureaucracy. No, it is a bureaucracy, insisted Romilda outrageously, and the bureaucrats pervert the revolutionary spirit for their own ends, their own power. Remember the sailors of Kronstadt? Do you think that's how you say it? I have no clue.
I don't know, probably.
Fucking stupid anarchists, I swore out loud, always falling for imperialist propaganda and embracing counter-revolutionaries as heroes of the people. For your information, the vanguard party is necessary to spread class consciousness so that the proletariat will know to not want to be oppressed. Then, once capitalism is destroyed, the state will start to fade away. But capitalism must be gotten rid of before the state or the fucking capitalists will just take over. I wouldn't be surprised if anarchism was made up by the fucking bourgeoisie to subvert the true revolution. No, that's wrong, Romilda yelled stupidly for no reason. Everyone who wants to be an anarchist, join me. My mouth fell open as several students, most of them ugly, which I didn't care about, walked across the room to join the fucking stupid anarchist Romilda Vane. We shall call ourselves the heirs of Bakunin, she screeched loudly in her stupid whiny voice.
What?
You know, it's making sense now. If you oppose Harry, you're ugly. Oh my god.
And you're evil or racist like McGonagall. I love the racist McGonagall.
I guess it's kind of funny also that it's Romilda Vane of all people.
Yeah,
know?
Considering that she was a simp over Harry.
Yeah.
Again, I wonder if Anobi will be in this story. Anyway, or maybe. I also believe that Umbridge will definitely, especially Umbridge, will be in the story. 15. Anarchists are stupid. Author's note. Thank you for the excellent revows by Para 411. Oh, I am slain. And the killer egg lord. Yo, comrades! The next morning, we all went to the Great Hall for breakfast so we could eat breakfast. Wow, I cannot tell. While in the Great Hall, I felt sick knowing that I was eating food produced by slavery. But at least the house elves weren't fucking wage slaves like so many of the proletarian workers in the third world countries exploited by fucking imperialist capitalism. I don't like either communism or anarchism, said Hermione in a petite bourgeois voice, but I decided that anarchism— oh no! Anarchism is the better of two because it acknowledges how bad communism can be. This is worse! I was so mad that I couldn't say anything. Then, Romilda Vane and her fucking supporters burst into Great Hall wearing t-shirts with the anarchist A and singing Lenin sucks Stalin rules. We want no one to make the rules. I clenched my teeth in righteous anger as Dumbledore started to clap imperialistically. Bravo, he declared in a bourgeois voice. It's so nice to see someone sticking it up to those stupid commies. What do you guys call yourselves? Ooh, the tea is really boiling here. I did not expect this to happen for some reason. We're the heirs of Bakunin, Romilda said stupidly in a whiny, stupid voice. We support anarchism. We think communism is worthless because Ronald Reagan, of course Ronald Reagan, said the Soviet Union was an evil empire. And we believe that even though we know he was a lying imperialist, we say we're against capitalism, but we think it's more important to get rid of all government. Wow, that's almost the same thing as my libertarian views on limited government, said Dumbledore happily. 50 points to Miss Vane for defending freedom. And unlike with communists, I decided that anarchists will be allowed to express their views in the classrooms. You see that? As Hermione leads his voice, Dumbledore is allowing people with the revolutionary views to say what they want. That proves that freedom of speech is real. I also support this anarchism thing, said Professor McGonagall in a racist voice. It sounds like a safe alternative to scary changes which communism might bring. Wait just a minute, said Professor Pepsi in a fucking voice. That makes no sense, but okay. I need to know more about this anarchism. Not that Dumbledore needs my approval of any of his decisions in our free, non-corporate run society. Did you say you were against capitalism? Yes, we must destroy capitalism, Romilda said in a stupid anarchist voice. Our plan is to destroy the horrible state and then capitalism will just go away or something. Well, I don't see any problem with that, said Professor Pepsi, smiling greedily. I could tell he was imagining how the bourgeois corporate capitalists would be able to exploit the proletariat without any kind of state to get in the way. But that fucking stupid anarchist Romilda Vane didn't notice. Okay, this is so evil and hypocritical if you think about it.
It's getting spicy.
Yes, the tea is hot.
Oh my gosh. Chapter 16. The Real Revolution of the People. Author's note. I will no longer let through anonymous vows from anarchists. They are a threat to the revolution. Wow, everyone loves anarchism, said Ron Owl cluelessly.
Oh,
Let's
no.
all be anarchists now. No, don't be fooled, comrades, I pleaded gloriously in a working man's voice. Romilda is being embraced by the revolutionary enemies of the people. Why would Dumbledore allow her to say what she wants while taking away our freedom of fucking speech if they were the true proletarian revolutionaries? It's because smart people know the non-corrupt capitalist system can be changed through internal reform, said Hermione elitistly, sounding just like a typical liberal coward. You fucking liberal coward, I yelled truthfully. You are so typical. Let's all share our different views together in an open marketplace of ideas, lied Dumbledore in an imperialist voice. Romilda Vane's anarchists will represent the crazy leftist views no one will ever act on anyone. To show how open-minded we are, we'll even let fascists say what they want. That's not open-minded, I yelled in a communist voice. We should smash the fascists. Silly commie, said Dumbledore, chuckling in a bourgeoisie way. Don't you know Voltaire said that I disagree with what you say, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it? If you believe that I said why won't you allow us communists to have freedom of speech? Some ideas have to be suppressed for a while if they're too dangerous, Professor Pepsi explained corporately. Communists will be given all the freedom of speech they want once they can't pose a real threat to capitalism anymore. Besides, communists still have freedom of speech, lied Dumbledore in a libertarian voice. They could say what they want everywhere in this castle except in the classrooms. Of course, anarchists and fascists will be allowed to say whatever they want in the classrooms.
Of course.
I was so disgusted with Dumbledore's fucking imperialist lies that I turned back to my socialist comrades. You must see now that we are the real proletarian revolution, I told them. Romilda Vane says that she's on the side of the people, but she's a tool of the bourgeoisie imperialists, just like the Vietnamese reactionaries who stole Cambodia's independence in 1979. Yes, we can see that, said Ginny, who was hot, although I didn't care about that, in a grim voice. The question is what to do about it. I know. I said as I got a proletariat idea for the working class of socialism. Everyone who was with us will meet in the room of requirement at midnight tonight. Of course, no fucking stupid anarchists will be allowed.
It was just gonna be interesting. Also, why would she say it out loud in the public? Because considering that Dumbledore and the other teachers hate commies, wouldn't they, like, try to shut it down, you know?
I have no clue.
Also, I wonder if Fred and George will totally support Harriet. I hope that's the thing. That'd be cool to see.
I mean, they might not be in the story. This might be in 6th year, I assume, because he mentions, like, Umbridge, and she's probably gone, right? So, like,
Let's just
sure they're gone too.
Let's just not think about when this year takes place.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's fan fiction.
True.
And this is where we're gonna leave it off. So you might notice that each video is gonna be longer than my Immortal fics are usually, since this entire story is much, much longer, and I mean way longer. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Look out for the next one, and remember, this is just satire for fun. Our political views have nothing to do with how we interact with it. This is all just for funsies. It's a parody, okay? Anyway, see you guys later. Bye. And subscribe as well. Bye.